Have you ever spun a globe, letting your finger drift across the vast expanse of Russia, Canada, and wondered about the opposite? What about the tiny dots? The specks so small they are often just names floating in an ocean with no landmass attached. We are taught that there are about 195 countries in the world, a number that feels solid, definitive, and settled. But what if I told you that our neat and tidy maps, the ones hanging in classrooms and folded in our glove compartments, might be missing something? What if there are places out there with their own flags, their own governments, and their own incredible stories that simply don't make the official cut? It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? That the world might be bigger and stranger than we think. This question isn't just about geography. It's about the very nature of identity, of nationhood, and of what it means for a group of people to declare themselves a state. We tend to think of countries as massive, ancient entities, forged in epic battles and grand treaties. And many are. But history is also filled with exceptions that are weird, wonderful, and frankly bizarre. These exceptions challenge our assumptions and force us to see the world map not as finished, but as an ever-evolving story. It's in these liminal spaces, these geographical footnotes, that compelling human dramas unfold, often unnoticed by the wider world. So, let's zoom past the familiar shapes of France and Japan, past even the well-known small states like Vatican City or Monaco. Let's look for places on the very edge of the definition of a country, debated by international lawyers, embraced by the imagination, testaments to stubbornness, ingenuity, and the desire for self-determination. Grand experiments built from scratch. Before we dive into our mind-blowing example, we need to ask, what makes a country a country? It feels like something we should know: land, people, government. But it's more complicated. The Montevideo Convention of 1933 is the go-to checklist. The 4 criteria: first, define territory, though disputes make it tricky. Second, a permanent population, no number specified, which is a loophole. Third, a government with effective control. So your backyard kingdom doesn't count if someone else calls the shots. Fourth, the capacity to enter relations with other states, sovereignty. Twist. It says a state's political existence is independent of recognition. You can check all the boxes and declare yourself a country, even if nobody answers your calls. That gray area is where micronations flourish. And it's in that gray area our story begins, with a place that ran with the rules. Alright, let's get to it. The country, or micronation, that will absolutely blow your mind is the Principality of Sealand. That's right, Sealand. Not just a clever name, it's literally what it is. A former World War II anti-aircraft platform on 2 concrete towers in the North Sea. It looks less like a country and more like a post-apocalyptic fortress. The story of Sealand is the story of the Bates family. In the 1960s, Major Paddy Roy Bates set out to broadcast pirate radio. After legal tussles elsewhere, he targeted Ruff's Tower, over 7 miles off Suffolk, beyond the then 3-mile UK limit. On Christmas Eve 1966, the Bates family moved in. On September 2, 1967, Roy declared independence, naming the platform the Principality of Sealand. He raised a flag, red, white, and black. He named his wife Princess Joan and became Prince Roy. Its motto, E Mare Libertas, from the sea, freedom. They saw a loophole and claimed it. Territory, the fort. Population, family, and associates. Government, themselves. Recognition, negotiable under Montevideo's logic. Sealand is tiny, roughly 550 square meters. The deck and rooms inside 2 hollow pillars. That's about 0.0055 square kilometers. You could fit nearly 800 Sealands inside Vatican City. A soccer pitch is 7,140 miles square. Sealand fits on it over a dozen times. A full football field is 5,350 m². Sealand fits with room to spare. A quarter-acre yard can dwarf it. Think large, open-plan apartment. Excellent sea view. Twin towers with 7 floors host living quarters, servers, a chapel, even a tiny jail. The deck is the outdoors. Helipad, recreation space, and the flag's perch. No farmland, no fresh water beyond rain and desal. Food, fuel, people. Everything arrives by boat or chopper. A nation stripped to essentials, smaller than a suburban shopping plaza. What is the absolute minimum requirement for a country? Built in 1943 as one of the Mosul forts, they guarded coasts, then rusted, until Roy Bates arrived with pirate radio ambitions. In 1968, after warning shots from the platform, a British court ruled it had no jurisdiction. Sealand stood beyond the then 3-mile limit. In 1978, a German businessman hired German and Dutch mercenaries. They stormed Sealand and took Michael hostage. Roy Bates fought back in a daring helicopter raid, retook the platform, and captured the invaders, forcing a German diplomat to negotiate. Sealand is a hereditary constitutional monarchy. A 7-article constitution bans firearms and guarantees freedom of speech and belief. Its first decree: Sealanders may drink what they wish. Titles fund the nation. Thousands worldwide are lords, ladies, barons, and baronesses of Sealand. They minted coins pegged to the US dollar, issued stamps, and once issued passports, until forgeries forced a halt. Daily life is loud. Ocean, wind, diesel generators. No power means no lights, no heat, no internet, no country. Governance is engineering, fighting salt, weather, and time to keep a nation from sinking. Meals need planning, long-life goods, and occasional fish. Haven Co. brought the data haven idea and satellite net, connecting the world's strangest country. Solitude defines it. Sometimes a single caretaker watches the whole nation. Prince Roy founded and defended Sealand. Prince Michael modernized it. Website, titles, data haven. The family keeps the flag flying.